Hello students, this is Sudeep Yadav from Spectrum Chemistry, and students, if you are first time visiting to my channel, so please like and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get best explanation of NCERT book class 7th subject science. And students, if you are watching this video, so please go to my playlist and watch the previous two parts of this chapter to create a better understanding for this chapter. In that parts, I have discussed about the acids, bases and the indicators. Now in this part of the chapter, I am going to discuss with you the topic that is the neutralization reaction. So let's start, students. The first topic which I am going to start, that is neutralization. So when the bases, that is alkaline, react with acid to produce salt and water, means when an acid will react with base, so it will convert into salt and the water will be the two byproducts during this chemical equation. This is a neutralization reaction. Why? Because here acid will neutralize the effect of the base and base will neutralize the effect of the acid. So means the neutralization process will take place. So that is the reason behind it. This reaction is known as a neutralization reaction. In a neutralization reaction, the acid loses its acidity and the base its alkalinity. As a result, a neutral solution is obtained in form of salt and water will evolve. So this was the neutralization process. Now let's understand this process by the help of activity that is given in your book, activity number 5.5, to demonstrated by the teacher in the class. So it will be demonstrated by the teacher. Fill 1/4 of a test tube, means we having the need of the test tube. Okay, fill 1/4 of a test tube with dilute hydrochloric acid. Dilute hydrochloric acid chemical formula is HCl. This is the hydrochloric acid. Note it down its color, means you have to observe what is the color of the HCl initial. Note down the color of the phenolphthalein. What will be the color of the phenolphthalein? It will be the colorless solution. Similarly, HCl will also be a colorless solution initially. Added 2 to 3 drops of the indicator to acid, means in which test tube we have taken acid, we have to be drop 1 and 2 and 3 drops of the indicator, that is the phenolphthalein. Okay. Now shake the test tube gently, means we have to be shake it, okay, to mix up it. Do you observe any change in color of the acid? No. Let's see how. Add to the acidic solution a drop of the sodium hydroxide. In the first step, when you have dropped 2 and 3 drops of the phenolphthalein, that is an indicator to test the acidic solution, there will be a colorless solution. Okay, so means after the shaking there is no color change. Okay, but in the second step, when you will be add 1 and 2 drop of sodium hydroxide solution by a dropper, stir the tube gently. Is there any change in the color of this solution? Continue adding the sodium hydroxide solution drop by drop while stirring till the pink color just appears, means in acidic solution you have to be continuously add sodium hydroxide solution by the help of dropper till the color is not changing of the phenolphthalein, that is an indicator. And during this process you must have to be stir it continuously. Now add 1 more drop of the dilute hydrochloric acid. What do you observe? the color will disappear. The solution again becomes colorless. Why? Because due to the neutralization. Again add 1 drop of the sodium hydroxide, and when you will be again add 1 and 2 drop of the sodium hydroxide solution, the color will again appear. Okay, is there any change in color? Yes, the solution again becomes pink in color. It is evident that when the solution is basic, phenolphthalein gives a pink color. On the other hand, when the solution is acidic, it remains colorless. So this was the experiment, this was the activity which we have done. Okay, so in this given diagram you can see there is a test tube and there is another test tube, acid plus indicator, and we are adding the base drop by drop and the color will appear. Okay, that will be pink color with phenolphthalein, means the base will impart a pink color with the phenolphthalein when you will be drop phenolphthalein with that solution in which base is existing. Okay, now when an acidic solution is mixed with basic solution, both the solution neutralize the effect of each other. Okay, when an acid solution and base solutions are mixed in suitable amounts, both the acidic nature of the acid and the basic nature of the bases are destroyed, means both will be cancelled out of their effects. Okay, the resulting solution is neither acidic nor basic because it will convert into a salt and the water will evolve. Okay, so the salt will be a neutral, it will based on the solution, it will based on the acid or base tendency. Okay, means if there is a strong acid or strong base, means it will be the neutral salt. Touch the test tube immediately after neutralization. What do you observe? So let's see what will be your observation. In neutralization reaction, heat is always produced or evolved. So means this process will be exothermic process. Means the neutralization process, the neutralization reaction will be a exothermic process. And what is the exothermic process? Means in that reaction, during the chemical process, during the chemical interaction, if there is a heat is evolving, so means this reaction will be a exothermic reaction. Okay, the evolved heat raises the temperature of the reaction mixture. Why? Due to the evolution of heat. Okay, let's see example. In neutralization reaction, a new substance is formed. This is called salt. Salt may be acidic, basic or neutral in nature. That I have already stated to you. Okay, and how it will be acidic, how it will be basic, how it will be neutral. So let's see, students. Suppose you are having strong acid and it has been interacted with strong base. Okay, so the salt will be neutral salt. Okay, and if there is a strong acid plus weak base will interact to each other, it will be acidic salt. Okay, and if there is a weak acid, okay, and strong base, at that time this will be basic salt. And similarly, if there is a weak acid plus weak base, so at that time this will be neutral salt. Okay, students, so here we have understood that in which condition the salt will be acidic, the salt will be basic, and the salt will be neutral. So let's see this example which I am going to discuss with you. Okay, in neutralization reaction, a new substance is formed This is called the salt. Salt may be acidic, basic or neutral in nature. We have discussed this. Okay. Thus neutralization can be defined as follows. How? Salt plus water, the reaction between an acid and base, known as the neutralization. Okay, means when the acid will react with base, it will convert into salt and water. That will be the byproduct. Okay, salt and water are produced in this process with the evolution of heat. Means this is the exothermic reaction. So let's see example by the equation how we can explain it. That is acid when react with base, arrow, that is the forwarding reaction, salt and water will form, that is the heat is evolved. The following reaction is an example. Here HCl, that is a strong acid. HCl, here HCl is a strong acid. Okay, and sodium hydroxide, that is a strong base. So the compound which is forming, okay, this is not a sodium hydroxide, sorry, okay, this is a typing mistake. This must be here, okay, before the arrow, okay, at the left hand side. This is the sodium chloride, that is the salt. Okay, so this salt will be the neutral salt. Okay, this will be the neutral salt, and the water will evolve during the chemical reaction, plus heat will evolve. So this is the example of the neutralization reaction. HCl is the strong acid, sodium hydroxide is a strong base, and the product will be the sodium chloride, that is the neutral salt, and water will produce. Now next, neutralization in everyday life. Number first, indigestion. Indigestion, our stomach contains hydrochloric acid. It helps us to digest food, as you have learnt in chapter 2. But too much of acid in the stomach causes indigestion. Sometimes indigestion is painful. To relieve indigestion, we take an antacid such as milk of magnesia, which contains magnesium hydroxide. It neutralizes the effect of the excessive acid. So students, here if you are suffering with the acidity, so we are taking a antacid, and the antacid is a base. Okay, so this antacid when react with acid, it will neutralize the effect of the acid and the salt will form. That will be a salt. Okay, and the water will evolve. So means this is the neutralization process. Whatever the acid is evolving inside your stomach, its effect can be neutralized by the milk of magnesia, that is the base, or you can also use sodium bicarbonate to neutralize this effect. Ant sting. The stings of an ant contain formic acid. This is also known as methanoic acid. When an ant acid bites, it injects the acidic liquid into the skin. The effect of this sting can be neutralized by rubbing moist baking soda, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate, or calamine solution which contain zinc carbonate. So this is the base and which can neutralize the effect of the methanoic acid. So here is also another example of the neutralization reaction, because methanoic acid or the formic acid is a acid and which we are using to neutralize its effect, that is the baking soda, and baking soda is a mild base which can be neutralize the effect of the acid. So this is the reason behind we are using baking soda to neutralize the effect of the ant sting fluid, that is an acid. Now next, soil treatment. Excessive use of the chemical fertilizer make the soil acidic. Plants do not grow well when the soil is either too much acidic or too basic. When the soil is too acidic, it is treated with the bases like quicklime or slacked line. It means, suppose you are having a backyard and the soil of your backyard is acidic in nature. So how we can neutralize its effect? By the use of the calcium oxide, calcium hydroxide, or the calcium carbonate. These all are the basic in nature which can be neutralize the effect of your soil. Okay, if the soil is basic, so what will be compound we can use to neutralize its effect? We can use the manure which will be acidic in nature. Okay, that is organic matter releases the acid which neutralizes the basic nature of the soil. So manure we can use to neutralize the effect of the basic soil. Factory wastage. The wastage of many factories contain acids. If they are allowed to flow into the water bodies, the acid will kill fish and other organisms. The factory wastes are therefore neutralized by the adding basic substances. So these all which we have discussed are the examples of the neutralization process in our everyday life. I hope students you must have enjoyed this video. So thank you students.